she has a business and all that kind of stuff, you know.
It's not a stress.
So, he said, the doctor told her that was your baby moving, and he's ready anytime.
Jeez.
You hear about these women going to ER, though.
They do actually, yeah.
Shock.
First one or multiple one?
I have a 10, almost 11-year-old, so
Okay.
I was gonna be 41 with no kids in the house, and now I'm gonna be retired.
Spacing them out that way.
That was excellent planning on your part.
She's wanted one, and I like can't deny her that, you know, she doesn't have any, so can't deny her that right.
Puts you in perspective real fast.
Oh, and I'm counting down the days till mine leaves to go back to school, and my grocery bill goes back down. I'm really excited about that.
Couldn't tell you why.
Well, you're a girl, I don't know.
Boy,
We have a built-in babysitter, that's good.
I haven't doubt
Is everybody
that.
else?
Oh, the older brother can babysit a little bit.
Can't get him to clean his room, right?
Oh, give up on that battle. You're not winning that battle.
His son is a lot like him when he was 11 years
Did you ask Curtis how to connect?
old. I know what Curtis was like when he was 11 years old.
I'm sure he didn't clean his room
There
either.
are still stories in this town when Curtis was 11
When
years old.
Curtis was 11 years old.
This, globe, yep, double click on that. Or right click.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you
no, it's
right
coming.
clicked on it.
Oh, it's coming, it came up. Oops. Open internet. Make your Wi-Fi turn on. Oh, shit. Turn on. Click on this way. That's all. Show networks. Maybe click just one on that. Right there, just click once. There you go. Click on.
The top one.
Was that for him?
Okay, that should do it.
All the time.
Oh, okay. Can you click on the other one and just do that one? I know that, no, this one.
This one.
Yeah, can you try that one? Now connect. Okay, type in internet. Internet. 234. Now next. I think yes.
Yeah, what the heck?
Dave's broken. You get 1 minute. Did it work?
Should be good, connected and secure. You should be able to go to the internet now.
Just go to here?
No, you're good.
No,
Go
get
back
out
to
of
your
the
browser.
browser.
Just click away right there.
Is it this one you're?
Yep.
This one?
Yeah. There it is. Now try and hit this button. Yours never seems to work.
I know.
Oh, that did work.
Well,
See, it's a little bigger now.
how much time we got left?
Less than a minute.
Lives on, well, he said, next year.
That's what it is.
Live next to Okay, so.
What is he?
He
What
just
we're doing
wanted to
about
talk, so
road.
I said.
Oh.
"You can do-"
Heard it's pretty, we're in a lot of low spots now. I heard a lot of people been running roads up.
About in the middle of the channel. Yep. In the center of the channel. In a long- There's a tree, I think, we're guessing apart. It could have.
Could have been you.
Over 15. Week before. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's, I know the cover. That's
Well,
good.
you're right.
Week before, somebody ran into Clint's
I heard about that.
on the whole side of it, so.
Yeah, I seen him clean up.
Okay, I'm back.
The fourth, I talked to him.
I'm ready.
We're not having a good luck.
Call this meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recording, right?
Yes. Everybody can put their mics on and the button pushed down.
Could the clerk please call a roll of the council?
Denny Bell,
Here?
Curtis Shares,
Here.
Dave Bishop. Here. Craig Wright,
Here.
Todd Rolson.
We have a quorum tonight. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So
Or, I'm sorry, approve the agenda first.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Motion passes. Now do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
We got bills for Christmas decorations. Did we get some really cool ones to put someplace else in the town?
Couple reindeer, like a snowman, and I think an angel.
Gonna go on 6 or we're
Yeah,
still
replacing old ones. with-
filling it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
They're cheaper this time of year.
Christmas in July.
Yep.
Chief, busy month this month, again. Be bad or just all?
Nope, steady.
Anything else on the consent agenda? We have a motion, a second. That'd be a roll call vote then?
Bell,
Yes.
Shares,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Rolson.
Yep.
Anyone have anything for citizens input? We'll move on to departmental reports.
The old firehouse.
Yes,
We get that cleaned out and get that sold.
we just got the water main and everything.
I read that.
So, at this point, yeah, it's a matter of cleaning it out. It's all full of fire department stuff right now, so.
If we get it coordinated to get it emptied out so we can get that property, so get it on the tax rolls and.
Okay.
You gonna list it? How are we gonna sell it?
We're gonna list it.
City sell property.
You can either have a realtor, you can sign a contract with a realtor, you can stick a for sale by owner sign in the yard.
Don't we have someone that's interested, attached
I would
landlord?
assume so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Too small really for anybody else.
yeah, so I think we,
Got somebody who's interested in it? Maybe, okay. Make an offer when we're ready.
And we do a public hearing. If anybody objects, they can come and
Right, well,
Say
we
they
do
pay
closed session
more
to
or
dis-
whatever.
yeah, we can do a closed session to discuss the offer and then you come out
Let's
of
see if we can
closed.
get that done in the next shorter period of time.
anything else for departmental reports? Then we'll move on to old business. We have the amendment to development agreement with West Jessup Development. I talked to Brent Dahlstrom's attorney. They had 2 changes that they wanted to see. They're not gonna be able to get the bond by, well, actually, it's probably,
August 1st.
yeah, they have to get the engineer out there to review everything. Bonding company wants that. And then once the engineer gets out there, the bonding company said it would take them about a week, probably, to get the bond written up. So they were thinking that it'd probably be mid-August before they'd be able to have the bonds in place. And the other big one is, he's still asking for June 30th to get the public improvements done. He's said he's gonna try and get it done by December, but if he doesn't, he's gonna need a couple months in the spring to get it done. I told him that one was probably gonna be a hard sell with the council, but take it back and get your input.
He's had a lot of time.
What are options there, Chris?
Well, is everybody okay with the bond? I think that to me makes sense. It's just gonna take that much time to get it in place. Yeah, we can tell them, as far as the public improvements, that it's gotta be done by December of this year, or you can give him,
You're achieving
Into
something,
June.
you're achieving something by getting the bond, because you didn't have that.
So what happens if we say December or June and he still doesn't get it done by June?
Then you can execute on the bond. That's what the performance bond is.
or we
You
can,
call the surety and say, we're making a call on this, and fire. You have to sue them on bond, but it's a hell of a lot easier to
or we notify them that they're in default of the
Right,
development
yeah.
agreement, and then
We just don't
they don't
certify
get
the
the
TIF,
TIF rebate.
because the TIF rebate is rebating them back
Right.
the money that they put into it for the infrastructure. And if they don't make the deadlines we want, we don't certify the TIF, and they don't get refunded their
Money.
improvement money,
Which is pretty significant. 'cause-
which is
right.
very
Right. I don't,
significant.
the development won't go ahead if they're not gonna get the TIF rebate, I won't think.
Even if they already had 3/4 of it done, do you think it would stop?
No, they'll probably be back in here in December asking for another extension, is more than likely what would be happening. And it's in the city's really in the driver's seat on this.
Big time.
So what do we need to give him? The other one was up, or the first one was up, was supposed to be done by August 1st,
The bond.
the bond.
The bond, yeah.
So if
Originally,
get
we had
him-
it September 1st, and then you guys moved it back to August 1st.
Okay,
And now he's saying mid-August.
They want the middle, they want
So
the
if
middle
so if we can
ground.
do the 15th,
I
and
think
then
it
that's
sounded
it.
like that would be doable as far as the bond.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah,
Big challenge is the public improvements deadline.
There's
would
also
leave
talk
that.
of a title opinion,
Yes,
so it was free and clear of any liens. Is that
Yeah.
in there yet?
that's part of the agreement still, yes.
Do that
They
once
didn't
a-
object to that.
What date was that on, do you remember? Did we have a date
I think
on
that was September 1st.
I think so.
September 1st?
It was a
so.
little longer than the bond, I remember.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it done by December, he's gonna lose, I mean, really, if it's not done by November, he's gonna lose December, January, February, probably most of March. So you're really giving him a couple more months if we don't hold him to the December deadline.
So what does he have to have done by December 1st then?
Streets,
Streets,
water,
road,
sewer.
I mean, lots ready to sell. And he told you that he would not be ready by then.
He thinks that he will be, he's going to try to be, but he wanted to give himself a little extra cushion in case something doesn't happen the way he expects it's going to. I guess my only reason to give him maybe into the spring was I don't want to be here in December redoing this again and going, we gotta go through the attorney to do another amendment to it. I think June 30th is too long, but maybe if we gave him to June 1st, that would give him a good month and a half in the spring to finish up something if it didn't get done this year.
I would like to see it stay at December 1st, personally. Just me. Because by then we'll know where he's at and come back, if he comes back to us again on December 1st asking for extension, I probably would just say bye-bye. Said 4 years.
It was December 31st, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever the date is, I really don't
yeah,
care.
Yeah, just, they got the right date, I guess.
We just gotta be ready to pull the plug at the end of the day, by December 1st, which I'm more than willing to do. Personally.
Is that what everybody else?
Taking advantage of our good nature.
I agree. My guess is we stretch it out, he's just gonna ask to stretch it out again. That's what I think. I mean, I don't have a problem with the bond, giving him an extra couple weeks on that, but the rest of it, I wouldn't do anything. Let's keep pushing him.
Does that need to be in motion or just a conversation and you just follow through with it? Consensus, what do we need?
I think it should probably be a motion on those 3 items. That way your attorney has clear direction on what the authority is in the agreement.
So move. What did we just say now?
So, I just got a quote. What happens, say we leave it on December 31st and he doesn't get done? We pull out, like, does he leave and then now we got a bunch of half-developed land that it never gets turned into anything and now we got,
He still owns it.
I know, but I'm saying.
Right, so you have to execute on the bond then, so you've got the legal maneuvering then, and eventually it's extricated from his ownership at whatever time, but then at that point, yeah, you've got to have develop some,
And what good does that do us?
got to go shop for another developer who's going to finish it.
That's just my
He's-
word.
Yeah.
That's the downside, yes, correct.
Because, then.
There's other ones out there.
True.
He has a loan on it, so whoever has his loan is probably gonna call it. They'll eventually take ownership of the property and then let's find a different developer to finish it.
For years, Curtis.
I know.
No, you know how old your oldest is gonna be in? No, I'm just.
I just don't understand how come there wasn't a bond on it to begin with, like, or anything holding him accountable to start with.
It was written in the agreement, he just didn't go get it. It's mentioned in the development agreement, that the first one that he was supposed to go get the bond, he just never got it.
And I didn't, I guess, really even look at the development agreement to realize that he was past his time already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have started this process
Earlier.
sooner, but
Because he's been working on it at all. Or can he not until he gets a bond or?
they've been out there doing some stuff, not,
There's been a truck out there for a couple days, but.
Oh, is there a truck out there now?
Huh? They've been doing something. Huh?
They show up for a couple days.
Yeah.
No, they just drop off a piece of
Story about-
equipment, let it sit for 2 days and leave. And come back and pick it up and move it.
I know, they were
Probably
out
to
there.
another development someplace else in another town.
They were out there cleaning, like the sewer lines and blowing the storm sewer out. They were actually, I thought they were actually back. But, we'll see.
Okay, title opinion by the, what date?
September
1st of
1st.
September?
Yep.
That we already had.
Okay, all right. So then,
You're
bond
changing the
by
bond?
September 15th? And substantially
Let's go
completed
for
by
September 1st
September
for
1st.
the bond too.
Substantially completed by December
31st.
31st.
Is that your motion, Tom?
Pretty sure that was my motion.
Second.
Any other discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. That motion passes. So I'll have our attorney just write it up that way, and we'll give it to Dahlstrom, and he can sign it or not sign it then.
This will be back in front of us in 2 weeks, signed.
Or not
As it's
signed.
done.
Yep. I assume it shouldn't take long for our attorney to update it. Pretty small changes.
Dates.
Yeah, just change a couple dates.
Next, we have the second reading of an ordinance amending chapter 165, rezoning certain property. This is for the old Birdenau dealership.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Wright,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Shares,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Bishop.
Yes.
Does someone want to make a motion to waive third reading?
Has anybody said anything, or written anything, has said anything to City Hall?
I haven't heard anything.
Make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Bishop,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Shares,
Yes.
Rolfson,
Yep.
Bell.
Yeah.
And do we have a motion for final adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Bell,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson,
Mm-hmm.
Shares,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
I know. Funny.
Next, we have purchase of a new ambulance. Do you want to explain this to us, Kendall?
I want you to go through all 47 pages. And I see this is the fourth draft. We killed a tree getting this thing.
You ain't kidding.
And all we really care about, what's it gonna look like?
Right.
Didn't get that.
Is it gonna be in a Farmer's Day Parade next year?
No.
Yeah, it should be. Okay, so the quotes are for a Type 3 van body style ambulance. Just like the ones we got now, the truck styles are labeled Type 1, which would be 4-wheel drive, you can get diesel gas. Ours are Type 3. So it's going to be identical type of ambulance, still going with a gas motor, and setup is practically identical, other than the big additions are this one has liquid springs, so it can actually go down a little lower. So there's times when we're loading our cots and you have to readjust the rigs to get things to line up. That'll go down, so that'll help. Wow. That'll be nice. Cameras all the way around. And then this one will have where our stair chair sits now. It's currently just like tucked in there, bouncing around. Now it's actually got a slot on the door. More glove compartments. Otherwise, an identical setup. Newer electronics, obviously new motor, new chassis, new body. And then, otherwise, it's a lot of the same. What questions would you guys have for it?
You think there'd be an advantage to going with a truck style where you'd have 4-wheel drive?
There is. I've thought about that. My ultimate goal would be a diesel 4-wheel drive. I mean, for one, they look good, and the 4-wheel drive would be handy in winter. It's $16,000 more just to get the truck style, and another $10,000 for a diesel. We should be okay height-wise here, even with our buildings. Them do sit a little taller. The Cedar Rapids hospitals, ours, I even cringe when our antenna ticks the top of it now.
Really?
So we'd be parking outside at those, not that we go there often, and then Allen and Covenant, those would be okay because they have trucks now. So I mean, that would be a viable option. I've thought about it. This is one of them. It's another $26,000. We don't do a lot of transports, like, where we're transporting Iowa City all the time to justify like a diesel, where you'd put 200,000-300,000 miles. Currently we got 30-ish, just under 30,000 on our newer one now, and we're at 72,000 miles for the old one. So mileage isn't really the issue, or to justify the additional cost of the diesel, I guess. There is options, you could put the chains, they have other than they're dangling underneath the rig in the summer and there's maintenance, even the salesman kinda, he was pretty good at not selling that, because there's this maintenance, if you don't use them, they just sit there and kinda rust, but ideally when you're in gear, then it engages and just flips chains directly underneath the tires. Or you could just get studded snow tires and run a set of one of the rigs in the winter and the other tires in the summer. So there's J's and A's to the truck style. They claim it rides rougher. Not that ours are a Cadillac right now anyways, but they do say they ride a little rougher. But otherwise, the main thing is just, it's another 26,000 more. They did quote us more. You guys got the prices, right? I guess we were originally only expecting like 5,000 or 6,000 for trade-in. The 10,500 is good till, what you want to call it? We get the new one traded in. The price is good till next April-ish, sounds like about the time you'd get the new ambulance. Apparently they're not backed up months on end like the pickup trucks are, or down in Kentucky, wherever all the pickups are sitting.
Where we at money-wise, as far as adding additional $26,000 to it? Is that possible money-wise?
With our current budget, no. We're right at even now.
With what you're getting?
Yeah. We did vote through the association just to get a number up to 10,000 anyways. So I mean, there'd be another 10 if you went with that. So instead of one,
What year's the other ambulance?
2003. 2003 and a 2014.
2000, that's what I mean. the
Yep, 2003, yep.
You an interested buyer, Denny, or?
No, I just
That's
question.
the latest fad here is
I
people
just
are buying
question
all
why
their
we
stuff.
have an ambulance that's 20 years old, it's only worth $10,000. Or are we better off trading when it's 10 years old?
Or you would get more value, yeah.
I mean,
We can
that's-
also
that's my
shop
question.
around too.
Number one, how reliable is it? And number two, we're taking it to virtually no value. I just wonder if that's something we shouldn't look at doing more often. I don't know. That's my question.
I'd have to ask, yeah. I've just kind of known we've always been on like a 10-year rotation, and that's what we kind of aim for, but yeah, that,
It's a budget,
It just,
a
yeah,
budget number.
yep.
yeah. I guess my thought is that I'm riding in the back of the ambulance, I'd just soon be in something that's not 20 years old.
Yeah.
But it just seems old for,
It's getting dated.
yeah, I'm sure it is, yeah.
You have to give it a couple restarts every once in a while to get the electronic
Let's
stuff.
see. Well, that's
Just get the AED out.
pretty close. We can do the same with cop cars.
Kendall, is this all city money or is there any grants?
Currently, it's just all city
All
money.
city? Is there any
Yep.
chance of getting a grant from like the Isle, what they have once in a while, or would that take too long?
Certainly, I mean, I would certainly try.
You know, if we could get, 26,000, if that would help.
Right.
I'm just wondering,
I don't know. Because the Buchanan County Community Foundation's every January comes up, and then April, and then there's another one with them. There certainly is. It'd just be a matter of picking out which one you'd want now versus then, and because the only rush now was that at July 31st it goes up 2,500. They just foresee those costs, and the initial one's already. Once you sign it, your prices are locked in for the next year till you get delivery on it.
Well, if you wait to order, won't that prolong getting it as well?
Yes,
If you wait till the grant,
Yep.
you can't order it until you get the grant.
correct. I said you could apply for grants now to get towards this one, or
I don't know if there's any grants to apply for right now until the first of the year.
I don't think so.
How likely is it to get one?
I've never done them. I'd have to ask.
It's hard to say. With COVID, it really hit the aisle hard. Buchanan County Community Foundation, you're not gonna get near what you would through the aisle, but you could get something. Once again, you're prolonging everything into next year for an order date, and then you'd be looking at probably end of the year, next year, before we get one.
Yep.
And if anybody's got a transport Denny, it's gonna be a mess.
That day's coming sooner than we know. Every day it's a day closer.
I think the aisle's doing really well right now, though. My buddy's manager out there.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
He said every Saturday is like New Year's Eve out there.
Is that right?
Yeah, everybody's got stimulus money.
That's
Or
good,
had.
that's good for us in the long run.
So this is the one you want?
I think so.
You're not selling it.
Well, I don't think so, but I personally would, yes. As much as the four-wheel drive nice, there's, like 4 times a year probably. I think we've gotten, these ones we've gotten stuck, I think twice. One was like rural, was it 2 years ago? Out in Dugan, I think Clint even came with his pickup truck and plow. And like after 20 minutes, finally busted, like four-wheel drive wouldn't have made a difference. Half the time, they're so heavy that when it comes to the mud and snow, it's either gonna go through it or it's sinking. But yeah, so the price and everything, just, I would recommend the van over the truck. I just can't justify the extra 26,000 for four-wheel drive 2 times a year, heavier, rougher.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any other discussion? Let's do a roll call vote.
Shares,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yes.
That motion passes. Then we have a resolution making award of contract for the drainage ditch
Thank you.
improvements project. We do have one property owner that we still weren't able to get an easement from, but our engineer has redesigned the upper portion that we can still complete the project and skip that property. We'll lose a little bit of capacity in the ditch because it won't be as deep, but we'll take care of a lot of the aesthetic issues of standing water, and it'll still be carrying more than what it does now. So Justin Peterson's here from Hudson Hardware. If things stay the way they are and we don't get that easement, we'll have to do a change order to take that out of the project, but you're still interested in doing it? And our other project's gone really well with them, so I would recommend that we go ahead and award the project.
So move. Second.
I guess I've got one question with changing this. Is we gonna have less or more of a problem of trash getting caught up? I mean, my yard, like, after Farmer's Day, we got that rain, and it is crap everywhere. Because everything that gets thrown on the ground at Farmer's Day ends up in my yard, and it's an absolute mess. And I don't know if, that's my concern, that it gets rid of the water, but it leaves more mess on my property than what I got now.
So we'll still have a concrete bottom through the whole thing, which should
Yeah,
help to carry
but-
that away.
Yeah, but that's what, 4 foot wide?
I think it's 3 foot wide with,
See, and the crap's 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot outside the concrete, and it all gets hung up my yard. If he doesn't, and what I'm scared of is we don't do something on his, I mean, I'm gonna vote for him, I'll just tell you about flat. But,
You're gonna abstain.
huh?
You're gonna abstain.
I got abstain, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Wasn't
But-
abstaining, you voted.
You're right. But
If you could vote.
if I could vote, I would be, that's my concern, is it would just creates a bigger headache from that standpoint than the water, but
Would you think if it got out of there faster, it would not, it would?
that would help.
It would help.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, as long as we can get it out of there quite a bit faster.
That would do that.
Cause it, my wife was out in the garden tonight and that Winding Creek thing smells like a sewage plant back there again now, cause there's just not enough water moving and it's absolutely horrible. So, okay, that's my only thought.
Anyone else?
No luck, did anybody else talk to the homeowner? It's no luck.
Todd talked to him, I believe, right?
Correct.
If something would happen, he would change his mind. Up until they get up to that point, we could, I mean, it's still part of the project right now.
So it's just gonna maintain the ditch he has currently and.
We'll
go to
just
that
blend
end?
into that. The difference is we were gonna lower it probably a foot or so. So then it would be deeper and it would carry more water. So now, once we get up, like behind Denny and up by the assisted living, that's gonna be about a foot higher than it would have been the other way. No other discussion? Be a roll call vote?
Bell,
Abstain.
Bishop,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Shares.
Yes.
And Denny, you're abstaining because you're a property owner?
Yes.
Just for the record.
Yep.
So that resolution passed. Then we have a resolution establishing a project fund for the American Rescue Plan Act. How much money are we getting?
$402,810.96 is what I found recently. So,
So we just want to create a we should be getting half of that payment soon,
yep,
probably within a month.
I think in July here still. So, and then the other half a year from the first payment.
So we'll have to decide eventually what to do with that.
This is a COVID payment at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Right,
At the
there's
end
a
of the day.
whole list of things that we can, specific things that can be used for, but we want to create this project fund just to keep that money separate so that we're able to account for it, because we're gonna have to do a report once this is all done. So that's all we're asking for now, is just to set up the project fund.
Free money.
Don't get started
I just
on
wanted to
that.
see your response.
Don't
I
dare
couldn't help
get
it, I
started
just
on that.
couldn't bite my tongue anymore. Sorry.
What type of things can we do?
Primarily for us, it's gonna be water and sewer infrastructure. There's some other, we had financial loss due to COVID, but we got a little bit of road use tax that we can supplement, but not really a whole lot that we haven't already,
Didn't we get a check earlier too?
yes.
How much was that?
63,000, 64?
So not North Street.
Can't use it for.
That's for doing water and sewer.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that other payment was from the CARES Act, but that was basically in response to COVID too.
Yes. But yeah, this cannot be used for a streets project. They specify water and sewer infrastructure.
Do we have a motion to
So moved.
create that project
Second.
fund? Any discussion?
Make sure you put free money in there. Okay?
Minutes.
No.
Okay, that'll be a roll call vote.
Wright,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Bell,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Shares.
Yes.
Then we have a resolution approving payment for Sixth Street Improvements Project Phase 2. Mike or Justin, you wanna
Everything's going good.
give a quick update?
Yeah.
What are they doing right now? I mean,
We
digging
are-
up and putting it back.
We are abandoning the water services on an old 4-inch on the west side of the road, tying it into a 12-inch line on the east side of the road. So we can abandon that old chunk of water main. So that's it.
And we're working our way to that old one that goes across Sixth Street at the intersection, right?
Yes.
That'll be abandoned or fixed or
That's
modernized.
Their next phase that they're gonna be working on after they get this section road done. At least that's what. I'm
When's
told.
this gonna be done? Crystal ball?
13th of August.
God. When's school start?
The week after that?
I was
I
gonna say
can't
20th.
start.
Put these guys on our Christmas card list.
It's the goal.
That'd be fantastic.
They're up 6th Street, right there in Raggrass.
Yeah.
Should be good.
It's awesome.
Give them something to, drive over if they wanna come downtown, so.
Schools can't start earlier than August 23rd this year. So I'm guessing school starts for you guys that week.
Oh, good.
We can give you an
That'd be
extra
great.
week.
That would be great.
All of the Raggrass.
The work at the fire station looks really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was impressed with how that all went.
It's a
Who
lot
put
of-
the black tire marks up there?
Curtis?
Curtis?
I don't think the
Going
old
for that.
diesel Passat can even do that.
Golf cart?
No, Volkswagen.
No, your golf cart did.
Oh, no, yeah, I definitely can't do it.
I thought maybe somebody was doing wheelies, or wheelies, or whatever they call them.
Do we have a motion to approve that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Shares,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Adjourned at 7:38.
Oops.
Taking that with you?
Now what?